Hey, I'm Kayla Glaze, and I'm a singer, songwriter, musician, music producer, and member of Adam's private mentorship, the Billboard 500 Club. You're here on the Music Industry Contact YouTube channel, where we do in-depth breakdowns of hit songs. In today's video, I'm going to be analyzing the song The Greatest by BoA. If you didn't already know, we cannot monetize these videos here, so our Patreon Golden Ear community means the world to us. Over on our Patreon, we have more exclusive content only found there, including early access to videos, as well as polls so you can help us select the next song to break down. If you have been supporting our channel over on our Patreon, we just want to say thank you so much. If you haven't yet, click the link in the description to pledge and join us there. Without further ado, let's get into The Greatest by BoA. Now, before I start this song, I just want to say that I've never heard this song or watched this music video before, so this will be a first-time reaction to me hearing the song and watching the video. Let's get into it.
The greatest. 日々は吹き出すシャンペーン
That's dope.
祝ってく Oh no 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 Hey Do you know 今は自分をもっと愛するパラダイム待ちに待った時代じゃない笑顔をいつ終わっていないで今日の君が自分史上最高の自分には変わらない Everyday Time to get on You're the greatest on my mind 君は君のまますでに完璧な存在で誰も構わない Greatest on my mind 何も気にしなくていいからもっと愛を自分へ Greatest in my mind Great 未来は will be alright Greatest in my mind ぶれない一切 You're the greatest one
Second verse.
空を染め
Okay, I'm going to stop it there real quick, and I'm going to break this down from the beginning. So this intro actually started off in a way that I didn't really expect. It comes in with an impact, which I think is really cool because it grabs your attention immediately. And then as far as the rest of this intro goes, it's actually pretty minimal. There's a really cool vocal sound that comes in that is really ear-catching. Right when that sound came in, I was like, ooh, that's really dope. And in between this vocal sound, she's actually introducing the title of the song. So she's saying, The Greatest. So she's already getting this title in your mind from the get-go. Now, what I've noticed about hit songs is most of the time the intro actually is really minimal and really short. Typically, it's about 10 to 12 seconds. This one is about 16 seconds. But even though this one was a little bit longer than 12 seconds, it definitely kept me engaged because I could feel that something really cool was going to come in on the verse solely by the production that was happening in the intro. So they kept it very minimal. They have this really cool vocal sound happening, and then they have a really cool transition come in to pull in that first verse. And what they do is they bring in a riser as well as these really cool percussion sounds that then almost pull in the verse beat and synth. And right when this verse comes in, this beat and this synth is so dope that for me, it immediately got my body moving. Which this is an electronic dance music pop type of song. So if you can get someone moving right away like that, I think you're doing a pretty good job. Now I'm going to break down this first verse a little bit as far as the vocal melodies go. So there are a couple little really cool singable moments that I noticed in this first verse. There's this part that goes, oh na na na. And then they have this, hey. A lot of hit songs definitely have these little singable moments in them. Those moments are easy for you as a listener to hear and engage with and sing back. Another thing about this little singable moment, this na na na, is that is actually a power of 3. A power of 3 is when you repeat a melodic phrase 3 times in a row. It's exactly the same, whether that's in the verse, whether it's in a chorus or a specific section of the song. If you really pay attention to hit songs, you will hear this power of 3 happening all the time. So they're using a little power of 3 moment with this little na na na. I'll show you. So the cool transition. Beat.
Oh na na na.
Oh na na na.
Hey, do you know ima watching?
So they're going, oh na na na, oh 1, 2, 3, and then hey. Now, as far as the vocal melodies that she's doing in the first verse, there's not really a lot of repetition happening. That's something I noticed. I feel like maybe they could have put a little bit more repetition into this verse to really get it familiarized in your mind a little bit more, because after listening to this song for the first time, I don't know that I'll actually be able to remember the verse melodies to sing back. So I'm just going to play through this verse one more time and see how it changes from the verse to the pre-chorus.
Do you know ima watching? paradigm. 마치 마다 지달잖아. It's a one day night day. 今日の君が自分史上最高の自分には変わらない Every day. Time to get on. You're the greatest on my mind.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there really quick. They kind of set up this pre-chorus to come in by climbing vocally at the end of this verse, which I think is really cool because the pre-chorus drops out. So that climb at the end of the verse vocally, I think really brings in the pre-chorus well, because then it drops out right after that. And going into a dropout moment for a pre-chorus is actually very common in these hit songs. And then as far as the vocals go in the pre-chorus, they're definitely doing a climb. You can hear that they're getting higher and higher with their vocals, and that is helping the pre-chorus to feel almost like this climactic moment that then goes straight into this huge electronic dance pop beat and chorus vibe. So production-wise in this pre-chorus, they drop out into pretty much nothing, and then they bring in all these little percussion things that you can kind of hear in the background that are amplifying the end of the pre-chorus along with the vocals to then go into this huge chorus. Climb, drop out. Oh, they've got snaps. Here comes the percussion going up vocally.
Time to get on. You're the greatest on
There it goes. Okay, I'm going to stop it really quick and break down this chorus a little bit. Okay, so for this chorus, they've definitely got a little bit more repetition going with their vocal melodies and their phrases. They've got some power of threes happening in this chorus. You're the greatest, 1, 2, 3. Da da ba da, 1, 2, 3. So they say the greatest twice in this chorus. They say it at the beginning of the chorus and then at the beginning of the second half of the chorus. I still feel like they could have a little bit more repetition, especially in this chorus. The part that sticks out the most in my mind that I can actually remember to sing back is the beginning of it. The "You're the greatest on my mind." Da, da, ba, da, ba, ba, ba. But then I don't really remember where it goes after that. So I still feel like they could probably put a little bit more repetition into this huge chorus that will make it a lot more singable, easier to sing back and to grasp onto as a listener. But it's still a really banging chorus, especially for a dance song. If I weren't breaking down this song and I was just listening to it, I would definitely still be dancing solely based on the production in the song. The production is awesome. So then coming out of this chorus, they go into a really cool post-chorus. I'm going to play that real quick. Greatest in my mind. Greatest, what will be alright. Greatest. So this section is definitely the coolest section of the song to me as far as the production goes. They have this like really fast bass synth come in, which immediately caught my ears when it came in. It's super catchy. And then they drop the vocals almost into this like monotone type of vibe, which I think sounds really cool and really catchy. This section of the song also feels like the most repetitive part of the song, which a lot of post-choruses are. So I definitely see why they made this section really repetitive. They're actually spelling out the title in this section, and they're kind of doing that over and over, which I think this is kind of the repetition I've been looking for in the song so far. This is definitely a section of the song that I do think would stick in your mind as a listener because it's very repetitive, and they're also spelling something out. Okay, so let's listen to this second verse through the second chorus and just see if they change it up at all. Okay, same as the first verse. A little bit different right here. Same thing here. They go up, drop out, snap. Very similar to the first pre-chorus. Building it up. Drop out. Pull in the chorus. So very similar. Very similar to the first chorus. Okay. No post-chorus. Build it back up. Drop out. That's cool. Okay. So I'm not really going to go into the second verse, second pre-chorus, second chorus because they're actually very similar to the first verse, first pre-chorus, and first chorus. Now, the biggest thing that I noticed was coming out of this second chorus, instead of going into a second post-chorus, instead of going into that section, they skipped that section and they went straight into a dropout bridge, which typically with a bridge section for these hit songs, I've definitely noticed that they introduce something completely different that has not happened in the song at all yet. So this is a totally new section, doesn't sound like any of the verses, the pre-choruses, or the choruses. It's almost like a standalone moment that really stands out and is totally different from the rest of the song. So they're definitely doing that here. They drop out everything as far as the production goes, and then they actually go into a halftime beat. So instead of the consistent snaps, they go into... So they drop out into more of a slower halftime beat on there, which I think is really cool. And then they bring in that rising percussion that helps to build this section into the next part of this little bridge section, which is also really cool. As far as the vocals go in this bridge, they're really cool. I still don't really feel like they're catching my attention in the sense that I'll remember how these melodies go. They do sound like vocals that would be in a bridge to me. It's definitely a change in chord progression and melody vocally compared to what's happening in the verses, pre-choruses, and choruses. The section I really want to talk about, though, is this next section that gets pulled in after they build up this little dropout section. It's really cool. It's almost like they go back into the post-chorus, but it's not totally the same as the post-chorus. It's a little bit different. Okay, yeah, so they do this G-R-E, da-da-da-da, which feels like a power of three. G-R-E, that's a power of three. Da, 1, 2, 3. So they have like some repetition happening there, a little bit of power of threes going on, back in that monotone voice, which I feel like that monotone voice is just so like ear catching, especially coming out of these little build up moments where they kind of climb vocally and then they drop out into that. It's really cool. So they do this just a couple of times and then they go straight into this last chorus. And typically with the last chorus, it's like the biggest chorus of the song. And a lot of times in these hit songs, they'll make it feel a little bit bigger and a little bit more lifted and different than the other previous choruses before it by adding in vocal ad-libs, which are these really cool little vocal moments that happen in between the phrases that are being sung in the chorus. So I'll show you real quick.
GRE, you don't care. You're the greatest on my mind. You give me all my smile.
Ad-libs happening in the background. There's another ad-lib. And they go into a last post-chorus. Really cool. Yeah, so they actually end with the title of the song too, which I think is cool. So in my opinion, that post-chorus is definitely the catchiest part of the song. Listening to this song for the first time, if I were to listen to it again, now that I know what it sounds like, those post-choruses would be what I would be looking forward to hearing in this song. As far as the video goes, I don't really have a lot of feedback on the video. A lot of it honestly was just like choreographed dancing, which I think is really cool. But I didn't really feel like the video had much of a storyline to it. It pretty much just seemed like all dancing. I kind of wish there would have been a little bit more of a storyline or something a little more creative happening in the video, because I definitely felt myself just listening to the song more than actually paying attention to the video. So I feel like they probably could have done something a little bit more creative with the video to make it a little bit more engaging. As far as the lyrics go in this song, I actually did feel like it was slightly confusing. In the chorus, I'm definitely understanding the meaning of the song in the sense of, okay, they're saying that this person is the greatest in their mind. It seems like they're speaking about a lover and they're saying, you're the greatest of all. Like, you're the greatest in my mind. But I didn't really get that from the verses. In the verses, they're saying every day with overflowing champagne, celebrating. So honestly, with the verse lyrics, I was actually getting like a party vibe. Like I was like, oh, they're celebrating. Like this is like a party type of song, especially because it sounds like a dance song. But then in the chorus, they switch up and they say, you're the greatest on my mind. So I feel like they could have done a little bit of a better job lyrically in the verses to actually describe like why this person is the greatest person in their mind. Now, before I give you my final thoughts on the song, I just wanted to thank you for checking out my breakdown of The Greatest by BoA. If you liked it, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more. Okay, so my final thoughts on this song. Overall, I thought the production on the song was killer. The production was really amazing. Like I said, if I was just listening to this song and I wasn't paying attention to the lyrics or the melodies, I would be moving to this song solely based on the production. As far as the melodies in this song, like I said, I think the post-chorus is the most catchy part of the song. That's also the most singable and familiar in my mind that I would be able to sing back as a listener. If you're a singer, songwriter, musician, music producer, and you are looking to be a part of a community of really talented artists, singers, songwriters, musicians, producers that you can collaborate with and also just build awesome friendships with. And if you're looking to hear from legitimate music industry professionals who have been in the music industry for years, who can offer solid advice when it comes to the music industry, then I would really encourage you and invite you to apply to join me in the Billboard 500 Club. If you're looking for a community of talented people to create hit songs with, as well as mentorship on how to navigate the music industry successfully, then I would highly recommend heading over to thebillboard500.com and applying for the private club. We have over 70 mentors who are some of the most successful people in the music industry, teaching up-and-comers just like yourself. Don't wait too long though, because there's limited capacity. Once again, my name is Kayla Glaze, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.